Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss Book 31 in R.L. Stine's Goosebumps original series, Night of the Living Dummy. Came out May 95. We are officially halfway there. 31 out of 62 original books, 1992 to 1997. Bro, it has been wild. It's been a whirlwind adventure getting from book 1 to 31. And here's to the next 31. We can do it. The goal is to get it done before Halloween. If I stay on track, I can do it. It got to push myself, but I can do it. Conveniently, these are easy to read. It's not too much thinking involved. They're quick. Holds the attention. Some little things we point out nitpicking wise, but bro, I got to sing some big time Rush right now. We're halfway there. We're looking good now. Nothing's gonna get in the way. Okay, so now the living dummy, right? Why is Slappy back, right? How does Slappy come back, right? Also, Slappy's described having a gray suit throughout this entire book, 120 pages. That's black. That's a black suit. He's talked about black leather soles, right? He's got the black shoes. He's got the white shirt painted on, the wavy black hair, the red lips. Great. It is distinctly mentioned twice, and I kept track, that he is wearing a gray suit. This is a black suit. No. Aside from that, in A Night of the Living Dummy 1, right? One of the original books, book like 4 or 5 or something like that. One of the first ones. Where am I? Night of the Living Dummy, book 7, excuse me. Slappy is given to Lindy or Chris or whatever the siblings are. There was Mr. Wood and Slappy, right? And then there was the chaos because the girls said the magic words that were in the pocket, Kanu, something, right? And so the dummies came to life. Slappy came to life. And Slappy was named by Lindy, I believe. And so Slappy is now back in a pawn shop. That adventure's done, right? Mr. Wood was smushed by a steamroller. We talked about that, and I was like, why is there construction going on during the rain? And, like, why did nobody stop these girls from jumping into an active construction site while that steamroller was going? We talked about that, right? That was weird. So, Mr. Wood was smushed. The guy, I'll never forget that. It was hysterical. The guy jumps off the machine thinking he killed a kid and realized it was a toy. It was wild, right? So, Slappy obviously is discarded, right? No longer to do with that family. But Slappy's thing is, you say the magic words, he comes to life, he causes chaos, and he will continue to cause chaos unless you agree to be his slave and do whatever he wants. So, main character now, Amy, has 2 siblings, which is interesting, because we've had stories of these, 12, 13-year-old kids, 10 to 13-year-old kids, either by themselves or with one sibling, older or younger sibling. We've never had really 2 siblings. So we have older sister Sarah and we have younger brother Jed. And so Amy's in the middle. Amy has this ventriloquist dummy named Dennis, whose head keeps popping off every time she uses him. Her sister Sarah is a great artist. She paints all the time. Jed is just a younger brother who's annoying and causes chaos in general. So their dad gives Amy Slappy from a pawn shop and says, oh, his name's Slappy and he was sold for so cheap, I don't know why, and blah, blah, right? So Slappy has the words tucked in his pocket. Amy reads them. He comes to life, causes some chaos, right? But he does it secretly. He does his he kind of noises all the time. But, like, she doesn't actually speak to him until, like, the last, 10 pages when he talks to all of them, right? So Slappy's dropping paint in Sarah's room, and Amy's getting blamed for it. He takes a brush with red paint and just writes Amy all over her wall, and Amy's obviously blamed for it. And it's interesting because the family thinks she's losing her mind, right? Literally, we're looking into psychiatrists. You need to see a shrink. And it's said many a times, shrink. You're going to see a shrink. This doctor is booked. You have to see them on Wednesday. So it's like, okay, well, now we're talking about mental health issues aside from just magic coming about, saying a spell and having them come to life. So now the question actually remains, when Slappy is no longer in the possession of the person that created the spell, is he then brought back to his docile state? As in, did he cause chaos in the pawn shop and then he's brought back to life when the new owner says the words? I think that's how it is. I don't think he stays alive. I think he goes back and forth. So at the big reveal, Sarah confesses that she actually does know that it's Slappy doing these things instead of Amy, and she didn't want to believe it herself. But let's hatch a plan. So the family hatches a plan that Jed is going to dress up as Dennis the dummy because his head keeps coming off, so he could just put his head on top and scare Slappy. Parents are going to hide in the closet. They're going to trap Slappy in Sarah's bedroom, catching him in the act with a paintbrush, ready to paint over the mural, another new mural that Sarah has to make. And so all goes well, and Jed pops out as Dennis and beats up Slappy, and the master plan is revealed, and the parents say, "We're so sorry, we didn't believe you," and everybody hugs and kisses, and everyone thinks it's great. But they can't find Jed again. And they go to Jed's room, and he's like, "Oh my God, I've overslept. I'm so sorry. What happened with Slappy?" And they're like, "Wait a minute. If Jed was sleeping, then who faced Slappy this entire time after splitting his head open and it's cracked in two, and then a white worm slithered away and crawled through a crack in the molding?" Very interesting. So what's this white worm have to do with the magic words being said? Interesting. So the magic phrase obviously brought Dennis to life, and he's been hiding out and waiting to plot his revenge this entire time. So it was a very neat little, very fast 3-page twist at the end. Really last page twist at the end. But it was quick. It was fun. My gripe is that he was wearing a gray suit in the book. The cover shows him wearing a black suit. I don't remember Night of the Living Dummy 3 because obviously he comes back to life. But now we've had 4 introductions of dummies that have been brought to life. We have Dennis. We have Slappy. Well, technically 3 if Slappy's in the first and second book. We have Mr. Wood. So what happens in the third Night of the Living Dummy 3? And then Slappy's pretty much the main antagonist within the Goosebumps universe. Like we have Cuddles the hamster representing Monster Blood. We have, Curly the skeleton with his pink mohawk and his little bandana and his sunglasses. We have Slappy. So and other characters, right? So Slappy's now this main visual point when he was a secondary character in the first book. Now he's the protagonist. So what happens next? I don't remember the third book. So let's see. We're going to get to it eventually. We have a bunch of other ones. I think Barking Ghost is is book 32. So we're halfway there. 31 out of 62 books. I'm so happy. Bro, I am so elated right now. You have no idea. Obviously I've had some idea. We've been doing this for months. We've been doing this for 3 months so far. So in theory, August, September, October, I'm going to be done right before Halloween. But September starts decorating for Halloween. Technically August, but mainly September. So I have to plow through these as fast as I can, somehow magically. We got a lot to do, bro. We have a lot to read. We have a lot to do. Man, only 118 days left till Halloween. 115 days left till Halloween. One of those numbers. We're in the teens. 100 and something teen-wise days till Halloween. I think it's 15. I think it's 115 days. I'm currently recording this on July 8th. Something like that. More than 100, less than 120. Let's see. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.